Zombies are imprisoned on an island that has been developed into a resort. People come here looking for excitement, but do not know the endless stream of zombies has stunning secrets. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Movie Night. I am Ben, a movie narrator who focuses on recapping thriller movies. Today we will talk about a thrilling and exciting adventure film, The Resort. The film began with chaos on an island known as a zombie resort, which caused global panic. Major media outlets began to scramble to report on it to get first-hand hot news. It turned out that several years ago, the inhabitants of the island were infected with the virus. Consequently, the government immediately sent troops to suppress it. But in desperation, most of the soldiers were turned into zombies and countless people died there. So the government adopted a project called the Brimstone Protocol, which means dropping bombs to wipe out most of the zombies. One company saw the business opportunity immediately and imprisoned the surviving zombies on an island for tourists to shoot. Of course, some people were there because of boredom and some people were there to give full vent, such as our protagonist, Melanie. Her father was a soldier who was initially sent to the island and was finally killed by zombies. He could only leave a video to comfort his daughter in a hurry before his death. Many years later, the zombie resort became more popular, but now it seems that something was wrong and troops were being sent here again. What was going on here? The story started 10 days ago. Melanie was always haunted by her father's death. Although she kept on participating in group counseling, it didn't work well, so she decided to go to this zombie resort with her boyfriend Louis. Perhaps after killing these zombies, her life could take a new turn. The next day the two packed their bags and set out. They first gathered at the transit station. There were many tourists who came here to participate in the shooting. There were two thrill-seeking students, a blonde girl who claimed to have been dumped by her fiancé, and a man in sunglasses sitting by the side of the crowd. Everyone had their own goals to come here. Guided by a pretty waitress, they set out in a speedboat to their destination, a distant island. After reaching the coast, they arrived at a hotel with SUVs. Melanie looked at the empty island with expectations and fear. The crowd immediately began shooting training as a simple warm-up exercise. Some manic participants were already excited. When it was Melanie's turn, she was so nervous that the bullet missed the bull's eye at first. She gradually found her sense of shooting after several training sessions. In the evening, Wilton, the founder of the resort, gave a speech. Then the staff brought out a zombie, which immediately excited the audience, and they began to long for the hunt the next day. And the zombie shackled by the staff was full of intent to kill Wilton. At the party, that mysterious blonde sneaked into the hotel control room. We did not know what she did to the computer. The old man, Archer, noticed her strange behavior, but he did not care. The next day, when the staff was preparing to open the gate to the zombie park, the technician found that there was something wrong with the system, but they didn't dare to inform Wilton about the data exception. They simply fixed it and notified the other people to continue today's work. After everything was ready, the gate to Zombie Park opened, but while the gate was locking, the defense alarm started ringing. Thanks to the simple operation of the technician, the system returned to normal, and a team that left before Melanie had already started a killing spree. They got their kicks by shooting wildly at the bound walkers, and Melanie's team arrived at another hill. Louis' marksmanship was so good that he aimed at a distant zombie's head and made a headshot. Then everyone had a good time. But when it was Melanie's turn, she suddenly couldn't bring herself to pull the trigger. On the contrary, Archer was unswervingly shooting. At night, they slept in tents in the wild, but unfortunately, the technician found that the system was invaded, and the defense system began to fail. The imprisoned zombies started coming out of the cage, so most visitors were directly attacked by zombies in this unexpected circumstance. The backstage studio was also surrounded by groups of zombies. Wilton hid in the innermost part, so she escaped from being attacked temporarily, but she immediately reinitiated the previous Brimstone Protocol so that the clock of the dropping bombs began to count down. Because the heroine group was more remote, they did not know the whole island had fallen. During the trip, Melanie became good friends with the blonde, Sadie, and they looked at the stars at night. But after a short chat, they noticed a zombie slowly approaching them. The two girls were scared and stunned. At this critical moment, Archer shot it, but when they turned on the lights, they found a flood of zombies coming. Archer was fearless in the face of danger. He was standing in front and killed a batch. They temporarily climbed to the roof of the vehicle, but the staff, Tom's best friend, was one step late, bitten by a zombie, and died. After a fierce battle, the day is gradually dawning. At that time, people still didn't know what challenges awaited them. Tom said that the headquarters had been sealed and he had received a message that the Brimstone Protocol project was initiated, so they must reach the dock before the project officially starts. Only in this way, they could be rescued. 5 desperate people went there on foot. Tom provided a map of the shortcut, but it would inevitably encounter zombies along this way. They had to speed up their pace because the previous shot of killing a zombie attracted a large number of zombies. Poor Tom was also bitten by zombies on the run. Melanie's boyfriend shot him very decisively, but she seems to be very dissatisfied with his behavior. This was kinda sanctimonious. If you didn't kill him, you could be next. In short, a contradiction arose between them. Archer also pointed out that Sadie was suspicious. Jack wanted to protect Sadie at the beginning, but eventually, Sadie admitted that she was a member of the zombie human rights organization and was being used. She hacked into the computer to steal files at the request of the organization. She claimed she just typed in the code and did nothing else, although they are furious by her action. But based on current situation, they have no choice but to hold together. Then, they crossed the fence into a building and found corpses everywhere. In the meantime, zombies gradually surrounded the building. In order to avoid the zombies, Sadie and Jack and the rest of the people escaped separately. Because Jack has been timid, Sadie was bidden for saving Jack. Before her death, she handed over the stolen files to Jack. Now there were only 55 minutes before the project starts, but according to Tom's map address, they found that the intersection had been sealed. They had to find another way out. The passage was dark and there were only a few lights at the end. Archer walked in front. Suddenly, they heard the roar of zombies. Thankfully, 4 people ran fast enough, but a zombie that came from above them still bit Jack. Melanie looked at Jack's pain, but she had no way to save him. Archer finally pulled the trigger. The team of 6 was down to 3. They came to a huge hall. There were simple medical rooms in front of them. They understood instantly. The company brought the refugees here and turned them into new zombies. They used heaters to make them look more real. Visitors thought they were shooting zombies left over from previous battlefields. How else could zombies be shot endlessly? Just when 3 people denounced the company's non-human actions, the zombies in the hall woke up, including the lovely girl holding the doll when they first met. But at that moment, she had become a fierce and cruel zombie. 3 people quickly retreated. When they escaped to the roof, her boyfriend abandoned her and got up first. Archer blocked the door with his body to give Melanie escape time. When she finally escaped there and got into a room that was full of zombies, she unexpectedly met her boyfriend again. But at this time he had been bitten by zombies. She raised a pistol and aimed it at him, but eventually put down the gun. She handed the gun to him and turned away. Apparently, she let him kill himself. After Melanie lost a friend and boyfriend, she could only run forward alone. While passing by a hallway, she thought she met zombies again. It turned out to be Wilton, who had been hiding in the room, but Melanie had already known about Wilton's tricks and her cruel treatment of refugees. After she was exposed, she knocked Melanie down and took away the pistol. In the end, of course, evil cannot prevail over good. Her behavior attracted the attention of the zombies. Then these zombies tore Wilton to pieces with hatred. At the same time, the Annihilation Project had entered the countdown. Melanie could only run as hard as she can because there was a swarm of zombies catching her back. The army began to throw bombs. Aircraft in the air bombarded large swaths of zombies. Fortunately, Melanie was not bombed and finally jumped into the sea, while the whole island was burned into ashes. Eventually, the surviving Melanie successfully sent Sadie's file to the media. This news certainly caused a stir. She no longer needed to hunt zombies to obtain psychological salvation. In the experience of this escape, she succeeded in finding the meaning of life. What I didn't expect was that Archer was still alive. He was drinking alone in the bar. At the end of the film, when the media broadcast the island incident live again, a huge wave of zombies appeared on the coast. It looked like zombies were going to spread to big cities this time. By then, will the Brimstone Protocol project be effective? Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.